Today we are taking a look at Icepick and Thunderhead. These are the basics from the Human Alliance class. They are the other two figures that were released along with Sandstorm and Backfire. Now, their partners are Special Agent Bob and Secret Agent Steve. So, yep, they're pretty much the same as all the other ones. Moving on. So, we are taking a look at two of them today. And the reason we're taking a look at two of them is because I just figured I'd do 2-for-1 review because I'm insane. So, we're going to go ahead and put Icepick off to the side here and take a look at Thunderhead. Now, Thunderhead is... aesthetically, his robot mode is not too bad, except when you turn him around, you have a massive backpack. This backpack is just completely immobile. Can kind of fiddle with things a little bit, but other than that, not really doing much. His robot face is there. Doesn't really have a mouth. It kind of actually reminds me of Beast Machine's Strika more than anything. Something I did notice when fooling around with him, that sounded dirty. It looks like he's got more of a helicopter or a plane motif here on the chest. That's what I'm getting out of it, as opposed to what he actually turns into, which we'll get into in a bit. He holds his gun in a very odd manner. Unfortunately, for some reason, Hasbro decided to hard mold the fists so that they're pointed off to the side, so his hands are permanently in this position, and you can't change that unless you move the shoulder up like that, and that's absolutely stupid. That is really, really dumb. That is my biggest gripe about this figure in robot mode. Posability-wise, he's okay. His head is on a swivel, unfortunately not a ball joint. Arms, as you saw, there is a sliding joint in the shoulder, or in the chest, ball joint on the shoulder, a double-hinged elbow, and that's it. Legs are ball joint in the hip, and then a swivel joint on the upper leg, and a joint that allows him to bend 90 degrees. So, what can he do in terms of transformations? Well, this has to be the laziest transformation I have ever seen. This transformation is ridiculously simple. We're going to start by folding up the hands into the forearms, lifting the head up, spinning it around, and then sliding it back into the figure's backpack. Then we'll take the arms and rotate them up above where the head was to form the, I guess you could say, front treads. Then we'll go into the back, collapse the feet into the treads, and fold them down and out of the way. You have to swivel the legs around so that you can actually bend at that 90-degree angle. The rest of the transformation is just getting stuff out of the way so you can swivel the backpack around 180 degrees and put the little guard down in the front. And then just simply attach the gun back to its sitting position. And you end up with the tank type thing. Yeah. Yeah, who wants to look at Icepick? So here we have Icepick. And Icepick couldn't be more different from Thunderhead. He is a very lithe and sleek Decepticon. Yes, I realize for all of those wondering, you're really not supposed to put these guns up on the shoulders as they will fall off easily. You're supposed to put them down here at the hands, but to be honest, I rather like them up on the shoulders a little better, because that looks ridiculous. I guess on this arm you could put it, well, that doesn't even work all that well. And the reason that doesn't work is because his hands are molded into the inside of the arm. They do stick out a little bit, so you do have hands here, but they're really too small to hold these weapons. Posability for Icepick is about the same as Thunderhead, but a little bit better. Unfortunately, the head is on a ball joint, but all it could do is kind of look down. It can't really look up at all, or you'll pop the ball joint. Shoulders are on a ball joint, and then you have a ball joint at the elbow. Legs, ball joint at the hip, and then a double hinged knee, which has to do with the transformation, and then the feet can collapse a little bit, so you can get some decent poses.
Icepick's transformation couldn't be any more different from Thunderhead than you would expect. It's a very intuitive transformation, and you kind of have an idea of what he's going to be. To start, you're going to unfold the backpack with his wings, and then you have to do a little bit of trickery folding to get the wings to form into the rear tread of the snowmobile mode. And then once you do that, it just collapses back in upon itself. Then we will take a look at the arms, and the arms actually will fold up and away to form the upper part of the seat of the vehicle mode. And it's very intuitive. I mean, I did not need instructions to transform this figure. Unlike Thunderhead, where I kept going, is this the way it's supposed to be? Snapping the halves together is a little bit tough on my figure. I don't think anyone else has reported that, but that's just my figure. And then you have to do a little bit of a trickery with collapsing the hips and the snowmobile treads. It goes into place with a little bit of force, but there is a little bit of trick folding in there. And then finally, you just fold up the legs and they form the sides of the snowmobile. And you try to do this without breaking the ball joints. The ball joints on this figure are a little loose, but nothing really to complain about. And here we have him in a snowmobile mode. So let's go ahead and take a look at them together.
And here we have them both in vehicle modes. I really like Icepick's vehicle mode. The snowmobile mode is really, really cool. It works well with the Human Alliance figure that you have, and it looks like a snowmobile. This looks like a snowmobile, like something that a human could drive. On the other hand, I have no idea what this is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a tank, I'm assuming, a four-legged tank, which don't exist in real life. And there's the only tanks that I can think of that look like this are maybe from some Armored Core games or Ghost in the Shell, specifically a Fujikoma. But the Fujikoma was significantly cooler than this. This is just dumb. This is just really stupid. Okay, so we are going to take a look at their weapon modes next. I have to admit, this is kind of silly. It's supposed to be a spiked club, maybe a chainsaw spiked club thing that you just whack people with, but it's a bunch of spikes sticking off the front end of a snowmobile. A little silly. I have to admit, I think this is the weakest mode, but there are some benefits to this. It really makes you look at the figure holding it and going, what in the... Okay, so now that we got Icepick weapon mode out of the way, let's go ahead and look at Thunderhead. Okay then, this is someone's idea of a joke. To be honest, this is just lazy. This is just stupid and lazy. It's not a weapon mode, it's just a way for you to go from a four-legged tank to a walking mech suit. Now look, I'm not going to stand here and say there's anything wrong with mech suits, but this thing ain't no Gundam, let's put it that way. Hell, even Exo Squad is better than this crap. So, going back to the finale... So both of these figures offer something completely different from one another. If you're looking for something sleek and awesome, I would go with Icepick. If you had to choose between the two, I think Icepick is definitely the winner of these two figures. He's got a neat robot mode, he's got a fun vehicle mode. His weapon mode is a little silly, but it's you can completely work with. Iron Tread is big, he's bulky, he doesn't look good in any of his modes, and his weapon mode is, to be honest, kind of a joke. So I would say definitely pass on Thunderhead and then pick up Icepick. So I'll catch you guys next time.